Hello there, Don here from the Patriot Media Group and United Patriots of Michigan, coming at you with current events and what we think about them. Have to apologize, you guys have to forgive me for the sunglasses, but doctors put me on some new meds and they got me extremely light sensitive, so I get headaches really easy, and the lights here kind of give me a headache. So I'll turn them off later and the headache will go away, but I'm just kind of trying to shield myself for the next few days as I become accustomed to the new meds. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys today. I kind of been shying away from this topic and not been wanting to say anything about it, but I want to talk for a quick minute about Mara-Lago and the FBI raid on it. When the FBI raided Mara-Lago, it was an unprecedented act by the Biden administration. Nothing like this has ever transpired in the history of the United States. This is more of a third world country type of thing. Never before in our history has a sitting president used the FBI or any other law enforcement agency to invade the residence or the offices of his political opponent. This is more like something you would hear, in a third world country like, Zanzibar or South Africa or, Venezuela or something like that. Definitely not something that you would expect here in the United States. So, not only does Biden have egg on his face for the border, for inflation, for gas prices, for the baby formula debacle, for 100 other things that he has totally screwed up during his presidency, the Keystone Pipeline, the pipeline in Russia, the fact that Europe is going to have no natural gas this winter because he shut down our fracking and our natural gas drilling and harvesting. But what he's done to the world, what he's done to the United States is a travesty. What he's done to the world because of his policies is unforgivable. But what he did to Trump at Mar-a-Lago is treason and a treasonous offense as far as I'm concerned. He's a past president of the United States, and he should be afforded the respect that any past president has gotten, and they have just thrown everything but the kitchen sink at this guy, trying to get him to not be able to run. They say that they're going to indict him on some kind of a charge. Now, we all know that when they raided Mar-a-Lago, they had that broad sweeping search warrant that said that they could get any document from his presidency from 2016 or 2017 when he was inaugurated all the way to the end of his presidency in 2021 when Biden was inaugurated. They could seize any documents that were in Mar-a-Lago. Number one, that's illegal. Number two, they were looking for classified information. Now, there's something that needs to be made clear here. I don't know if you've heard it from other sources. It's not been heralded on mainstream media. Excuse me, but it has been heralded a lot in alternative press and as well as, mainstream as far as Fox goes. And that is that the main person or persons that can declare whether or not something is top secret or not, who has final say over something that can be declassified, that was originally classified, is the executive branch of the government. Now, for those of you who haven't had general social studies like we were in my generation, the three branches of the government are the legislative, the judicial, and the executive. Now, the executive branch basically is the president of the United States. He has the final say on anything that is classified. Now, Trump had the habit of taking some documents from the White House to the residence, or sometimes with him to Mar-a-Lago, or sometimes to New York, while he was traveling to be able to look them over. Now, here's a key factor that a lot of people are omitting, but that is a fact. And that is that any time Trump took a document, if I'm Trump and I've got this document and it's classified as top secret, and I walk out of that door behind me it becomes declassified by my decree. If I say that anything that I take out of the White House, which Trump did, and as Jimmy Carter did, and as Bill Clinton did, and as Barack Obama did, they said that any time they take anything out of the White House, it is considered declassified, then it is declassified. So therefore, when Trump took anything to Mar-a-Lago, it is automatically considered declassified. The archives has no right to those documents. Any documents that Trump may have had at Mar-a-Lago would be considered copies. Trump didn't keep any documents there that were originals. Trump had everything there that was copies. They didn't have any right to those. This was a fishing expedition, pure and simple, as we all know. Now, what were they looking for? Now, there's several different theories out there. Now, my particular theory, my particular belief is that they were going there after documentation that had to do with Crossfire Hurricane. Now, do y'all remember what Crossfire Hurricane was? If you don't, in a nutshell, that was the plan to spy on Trump during his candidacy, during his presidency, and now, of course, after presidency. Crossfire Hurricane was what they were doing. That was the name of the program that the FBI, the CIA, and the Democratic Party called it when they were spying on Trump. So that's what they were probably going after, so they could destroy those documents. Now, I've got a feeling in the back of my brain that if they did seize those documents and they think that those are the only copies, then they are vastly underestimating our friend Donald Trump. Now, this will come out in the wash, I'm sure. They're going to try and indict Donald Trump, but as someone in the White House once said a few years ago, I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody once said, quote unquote, you can indict a ham sandwich. So indictment means nothing, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to get something on Trump so that they can make it so that he can't run for president in 2024. Now, when Biden made his speech the other day, when he was standing in front of the backdrop with the two Marines behind him, with the blood red backdrop, a la Adolf Hitler, a la Benito Mussolini, a la any other past, I would say even Pol Pot. How about Little Rocket Man, North Korea, Kim Jong-un? How about any despot dictator in the history of the world had a backdrop like that when they were doing? And you know the funny thing about the whole presidential address that Biden made, the funniest thing is he didn't address one thing that had anything to do with our country. All he had to say was about Donald Trump and about us, about the ultra mega movement, about us being semi-fascists. Being a semi-fascist, I guess, is being like being semi-pregnant. You're either a fascist or you're not. And we all know that we are not the fascists in the barn here. We're not the ones that call for violence. We're not the ones that had the riots in 2000. We're not the ones that sent an assassin to a Supreme Court justice's house. We're not the ones that called for violence like Nancy Pelosi and like Maxine Waters when she said approach anybody in a restaurant or in a mall or whatever and tell them that they're not welcome. We're not the ones that called for violence. It's not us. It's the Democratic Party. It's not the Republicans. Do your homework. Look it up. These idiots are doing everything that they can to try and stop Donald Trump. He's not addressing anything that he's doing wrong, anything about the wide open border. He didn't say anything about fentanyl. He didn't say anything about the inflation or the $5 a gallon gas, $6 a gallon gas. My friend, my family member out in California said that gas topped $10 a gallon out there. Now, of course, it's coming down a little bit. They're doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something to bring the price of gas down before the midterms. But I'll bet you dollars to donuts that as soon as the midterms are over, baby, those gas prices are going to shoot right back up. We're going to be paying $5, $6, $7 a gallon. right after the midterms, just because they can run those prices right back up, and Biden's not going to do a damn thing. Oh, you know something else I kind of had the thought of the other day. This is the first time that I can remember in a presidency. Now I'm a little up there in years. You know, I'm in my seventh decade of being alive, which means I'm 60 for the people who can't do math out there, mostly the liberals. That I can remember that a president hasn't gone to the border. Do you realize that we've had the worst border crisis of any president in the history of the country, and neither Joe Biden nor his vice president, Kamala Harris, has been to the border? Biden made Kamala Harris the czar of the border, and she hasn't even been to the damn border. Now, if somebody made me the czar of anything, you bet your ass my ass would be down there, or wherever it would be that I was made the czar of, addressing the problem. But little Miss Dumbass hasn't been anywhere near the border. She's been to Venezuela. She's been to Europe. She's been to Mexico. She hasn't been to the American border. The hell is wrong with this woman? All right, sorry, getting sidetracked. That's for another thing. Well, we're going to talk about that. I got something I'm working up on the back. But once again, I apologize for the sunglasses. I'm trying to get over this light sensitivity thing. I'm working on it. As you can see, we're in the new digs. So I'm going to try doing one or two of these videos a week again, trying to bring you what we think is going on out there. Some of our conspiracy theories, some of the things that's going on. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you're seeing this on Facebook, if you're seeing this on Rumble, hit the, share it. Don't forget to go to our website, UnitedPatriotsOfMichigan.com. Check us out at Patriot Media Group, United Patriots of Michigan on Twitter, Facebook, Rumble. Look for me on Rumble, Freedom Monger. That's it. Special thanks to my producer, Andy. Have a great day, wonderful weekend. This is Don for United Patriots of Michigan, signing off. See ya.